All right, folks. Happy Friday. Good and happy Halloween, mind you. Great to have all of us back here this Friday afternoon, shortly after 2:30. Of course, Halloween, October 31st, right? So great to have all of us back here. Otherwise, I saw Bill, Brian, a couple of Brians there. Actually, I was just talking to a few of us here. Bill, Brian V, Brian B. Got Tony with us here. Michael, Leda, all of our students and members here. So, hey, right away for a Friday afternoon. Wouldn't be expecting too much out there. I feel like a lot of us are kind of like tired from this whole Super Bowl week of earnings. Even from last Friday, we had the CPI report that came out, which parlayed into the earnings week that we had, which parlayed into the Fed decision and all of that. Listen, I mean, Friday morning, we had some good stocks moving earlier on today, coming off of like the Amazon, Apples from Thursday afternoon. I think that this weekend is coming pretty soon here. So I think a lot of things are slowing down, not as much providing as an opportunity for us. Now, when I say that, don't think that there's nothing. Just look at what we're calling out in the chat board. Look at what Fausto just commented on. It was his first call out in since the morning time. So he called out to us the MNOV trade, which got my attention. And I'm in it right now. I'm in right from 171 shortly after he wrote it. I'm like, you know what? This is the cheap stock. It's up a little bit, not up a whole lot. I got a stop set in case if it pulls back. But at least for right now, I'm going to look to see if the stock could try and make a push up towards 190-ish. But even I would say up top towards this second line, 204. That's like a couple of historical levels that I plotted. But I would kind of even just say $2 as a whole number level, 204, the upper of those two lines. And that's kind of where I'm looking at least as an early target. We'll see if this could even make the push. Higher lows, higher highs, right? That's all we're thinking about there. So, yeah, for right now, we're absolutely going to put the MNOV stock just on our list to begin. What else were we just calling out before here, right? Rich with a couple himself there, but, I was looking at Jobby myself here, and I jumped into Jobby as it broke over the high of the day, right off 1690, 1688. It's not up that 5%, but it was just moving before. So we've called it out to all of our students there at the time, pushed higher up about 12 up about 20 or so cents on that trade. Doing pretty good so far. I'm not going to put this on our main watch list just yet. Normally, if it's up that 5+%, normally if it's down that 5+%, right away I would. But I'll come back to this by the end of this meeting. I would have no problem adding it. I just want to give respect to what's up even more, what's moving even better maybe on the gainer side. So let's go right from top to bottom here. And this literally is going to go from top to bottom, this HKD trade. So beautiful move this morning the stock had. And if you're not familiar with HKD, it's not as if you should. I'll tell you what happened pretty much over the last several years. But we traded the stock once, maybe twice in its time. But the one or two times we traded it, yeah, you can see exactly that candle. So this thing we actually ended up trading. This was a real move. This was not a reverse stock split that we would often say. No, this was an actual move over the course of a week's time, pushed from $20 this was here at the time up towards $2,500 a share. That was real. Now it came back down. That also was real. So, history often repeats itself, going up and down. So I ended up taking half my position out on this trade at 490, a little bit below 490, but it was a beautiful exit at the time. I wish I'd sold it all at that point, but I sold half. I kept half in hopes of it trying to make that lottery type of move, that Powerball Mega Millions type of run. It didn't. Well, that's why I'm happy I sold half. So, either way, that's the risk that we run, and it came collapsing back down. I pulled 40 cents out on the second half, is what it is. Now this thing's a giant loser. Wouldn't shock me if it pulls back below 2 going into Monday morning. If it wants to prove itself to me here otherwise, then I'll be here for that as well. We'll be right back here inside our live trading room come Monday morning. So would love to see it. I'm not going to risk it though. MNOV, just from before here earlier, I just had my lines plotted at 2 and 204. That's my early target on that trade. So we got that one already. The RANI, this stock we've done pretty well on, right? Last week we did pretty good on it, going up, going back down. What was that? 3 green in a row, 6 red in a row after that. Geez. All right, so we got a green here this afternoon. It's not really near the highs. I'll come back to it at the end of this meeting if you want me to there. The Kaba trade was looking pretty strong. One of our members here just wrote this before. They got more into a position just from earlier, added more to it, I should say. Listen, it's breaking above the high from the last couple weeks. So it's starting to become a pretty healthy long term graph. Just remember, though, this thing fell off a cliff back from last year. So this is not healthy like NVIDIA healthy. This is not healthy like, Palantir healthy. My platform is freezing up here. Give me a moment. This happens once a day. Platform just freezing up here for a second. It's not like Palantir healthy, though, just kind of showing the long term graph on PLTR. So getting back to that other one, at least, Kaba, it was a nice move. Nice move today. It's starting to become a good swing trade in due time there, right? We'll add it. So we got two so far, two good looking trades. MSAI, it was looking good before. Came back down, though. That's done. Oh, let me also just kind of filter this out here by volume. I forgot to do that here just before. All right. So what else we got here? Anything else looking good here? IRWD. What is this? More of like a late or mid-afternoon pop here, just right now at 2 o'clock and a little afterwards here. It's pushing up. Good enough book. Wouldn't mind giving this like a shot, putting this on the back end of our watch list for right now. IRWD. We'll take it. All right, so probably going to find some other trades to work with at least here. Not even just the small caps like PACB. PACB, I think we ended up putting, I don't know if we put this on our list maybe. We were maybe just kind of scanning around and found it just midday one point. But another stock, it's been going up nicely recently, but it's not really a great long-term graph. You could see, definitely not a great long-term graph. So don't trust these stocks as far as you could throw them. It's at the highs right now, so in hopes of like an intraday, day trading type of push into the market close. Not a bad call. I'll add it for right now, but I'm not going to swing trade it. All right, what else we got here, guys? Guys and gals. FSLR is at the high of the day. That's doing pretty damn nice. So for solar, we'll take a look maybe on like an SEDG, maybe an array, maybe a Sunrun. Sunrun. Oh, it's kind of just the first solar. Maybe it's just off earnings. That could easily be it. Maybe first solar had earnings. Good chart, just not really a good order book, and also pretty expensive. So for that reason, more than anything, I'll pass. All right, QS. All right, no brainer here though. This one looking great going into the afternoon. Higher lows at the high of the day. Big iceberg order up top here at 1835 for about 112,000. So you know where resistance is on this one. I mean, you could just say it's practically off the HOD, but it's volume that creates these levels. So right at 1835, big iceberg up top there. We'll definitely add that to our list right at the top. What was this? TNYA? This thing's actually looking pretty good. This thing's actually looking pretty damn nice here, actually. What was the other one that was looking half decent? I think there was another one we said we'd come back to there at the end. I think it was like no. I added the IRWD. I added this one already. All right, listen, if I'm going to add this, then I will put the TNYA on our watch list also. This one actually looks nicer. So, yeah, we got that too. EOS, this one just broke out before also. I don't know if it's at all-time highs again. It's, pretty close, but yeah, not all the way there, but this definitely is a very healthy long-term chart. So either way, good day today, good long-term graph. So this could be a good swing trade in due time again. Same with AMPX. AMPX, I remember being a pretty healthy long-term graph over the last, year, but just looking even further, well, it's getting back up towards highs that we had back from 22, 23 time. Broke over it, in fact. So looking pretty strong. But for today, at least, that's why we have it on our watch list. We'll add the AMPX for this afternoon, right at the highs, running up pretty nicely here. Amazon kind of bouncing a little bit. Not really a big fan like right now. It already had blowout earnings, big pop just from the other day or from last night, rather. QUBT having a good afternoon so far. Maybe some quantums we'll look at here in just a bit. FCell we're familiar with. We've seen it trade better. Roku had a good pop before, but it reversed. Yeah, pretty much right around reversal time. I mean, it made lower highs at 10:30, right back down. Hood had a good morning. We nailed Hood early on today after the market had opened up. Didn't put this on our main list early. Wasn't really going anywhere in pre-market, but broke out. We called it out early on, and this one ran out pretty well. Just for the afternoon, we're done with this trade, though. We'll come back to it Monday. Um, with the Jobby trade, JOBY, I don't think I added Jobby to our main list just yet. I said I'd come back to that probably at the end. But RCAT's up even more percentage wise, and this is at the high of the day too. So, absolutely add the RCAT. I could just add Jobby also, but there's probably a lot of trades that are up like 2, 3, 4% that are near the highs. So we don't want to add everything under the sun there. So we'll come back to anything that we need to, but we'll hop over to the loser side first, see if there's any good shorts, any stocks that could be dead cat bounces, maybe. Probably not really on that front because not really down enough percentage wise for that, really. Any trades at the lows, though, it could be a good short to work with. ASPI, not terrible. Isotope, nuclear type of company. It's just in some thick consolidation, though. It depends on if it wants to drop lower down towards these lows that we had around 850, crash down there. It still technically hasn't filled a gap all the way down here from the close on this candle on the 23rd. There could be some downside room on ASPI. There could be. I'm not really like at a dire need to put a short on our watch list. So it looks all right. Don't get me wrong. If you want to study a stock at the low of the day, this wouldn't be a bad one to look at there. But that's really all I got, folks. Anything else that you see more on the way up that looks good, you let me know. Jobby is ripping right now. Oh, this is beautiful. And the MNOV. Thank you, Fausto. Hashtag thank you, Fausto, on that one. No, but seriously, if anyone got in on the Jobby or if anyone got in on the MNOV stock right now, just let me know here. Let me know, folks. Either Jobby or the MNOV. Fausto had called out the MNOV earlier. Obviously, that one's a little less expensive. Kath, you got in on that one? Nice. Tommy, you're in on the Jobby? Cool. We'll take it. All right, just real quick, I'll chat a couple of us here on the side, just private chat. I just see some things coming in here. So just once I finish up, I'll write back to a couple of us separately. But let me take a quick look. What do we got here? Lunar Mike. Yeah, it's at the highs. Well, slowpoke stock, though, right? The more we watch this, the more we miss out on the MNOV, right? So that's kind of where you want to make good use of your time. SMR is going up all right. We've seen that, even better, but it's on a good move, good bounce. Can't complain with that. Soon's at the high of the day. There's a lot of trades that look like that. I'd rather focus on something moving even sharper. Out of the quantums, I wouldn't mind putting the QUBT on our list up over 10% at the highs. That one looks pretty decent. I'm just coming back to that trade now. Rigetti. Listen, if you guys do good on any one of these stocks and you would rather focus on Rigetti or you'd rather focus on QBTS, you know who you are, right? That's all. I mean, you just got to look at yourself in the mirror and ask, do I make money on this stock more often than not? And if the answer is yes, then as long as it's near at the highs and it's on good order book, it's tradable. It's something that you personally should focus on. But if you're trying to focus on what we're building here, this watch list that Fausto or myself make and curate throughout the mornings or afternoons, then we try and start you off on the best list possible. So, there's a little picking and choosing process behind it, right? You got to cherry pick here. All right. So I think that's pretty much it, though, guys. I think that's pretty much it. Everything else, though, I'll put Jobby on our list. That one is pushing up pretty nicely. It's not up that 5%, but going up with the RCAP pretty nicely, I'd imagine. So, good list here to work with heading into the afternoon. Real briefly, Leda, as always, appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube, not just inside our live trading room. Hey, how about this? If you're just joining us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, etc., break out my Gene Wilder there. But if you're new to our channel, new to our stream, make sure to hit the follow or subscribe button down below. Our channel popping up lower left, right below my avatar. I look a lot better on that avatar than I do in person. Nah, at Cyber Trading You, though, at Cyber Trading You, just right down below, hit the follow or subscribe button either way. Barbara, right to have Barbara here, Barbara N on YouTube, asking about the DFLI. Not bad. Not bad. Let me take a look here, though, just because long term, definitely not a great graph. Now, the thing is on this, I don't know if I would trust this gap fill here to see, like, oh, it could fill this gap. Like, maybe it can, right? It could. But outside of this one candle here, it's been on a smooth trend off of highs, right? Like, relatively speaking. So, is it going to try and fill the gap, with good momentum? Is it going to break above these highs here going into today, there's next week, whatever it may be? So it's on my radar. I'll kind of keep it on my side list there, Barbara. Definitely like low risk call out, right? Better low risk than some sideshow casino stock, right? So, hopefully it can fill that gap. It would be interesting if it pops more from here, but for right now, we'll keep it on our side list. That's all. All right, folks. So, hey, I think that's pretty much all we got here heading into the afternoon. Just give me a second. I'll pretty this list up for all of us, though. Otherwise, for Kathleen, John, Michael, Todd, all of us here. So, best of luck trading going into the close. If not myself, you'll get Rich on the mic heading into 3 o'clock, 3:05, and we'll go from there. Like we had said, though, folks, listen, coming off the CPI, the Fed decision, all of these earnings, you got a couple good movers to work off with here. But if by 3:15, 3:30, there really isn't anything from that watch list out there, and there's like really scraps out there on the scanners, call it early. You deserve to, right after the week that we just had. So, this is why we trade, so we could take off early if we want to, or start the weekend early, whatever it may be. But if there's nothing really looking that great, that's where I say that. If there's something that's holding strong, or if you're already in one of these and it's holding good trend, then ride it out, right? Like I will on Jobby and the MNOV trade right there. All right. But hey, we'll be back on soon, folks. Talk to you all soon. Take care.